Radhe Krishna, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha. Welcome to the 53rd episode of Thirukkolur Penpillai Rahasyam. By now, we would have known the technique which Thirukkolur Penpillai uses. She compares herself, she spiritually benchmarks herself with the various saints and devotees who have lived in this great land in the past. She picks up certain divine qualities and attributes and feels that she lacks those qualities. Hence, she is not a great devotee herself, which is again an act of humility, because if she is able to recite so many verses from various epics, various scriptures, she is highly learned, yet she chooses to display her attitude of humility. Now, in these 52 Bhakti Rahasyams we have seen till now, there was one episode where she compares herself not with any devotee, not with any saint, but she compares herself with the Lord Himself. It was episode number 16 where she is comparing herself with the truth-speaking attribute of Lord Krishna. Now, the 53rd Bhakti Rahasyam, which is the current episode, is again a special one, because here also she is comparing herself with one of the divine attributes or qualities of the Lord. There it was Lord Krishna, here it is Lord Rama. In her Bhakti Rahasyam, she says, "Did I go to the forest like Lord Rama?" Now, we had seen some basics of Ramayana. What were the circumstances which led to the exile of Lord Rama to the forests for 14 years? This we saw maybe some 7 to 8 episodes back. So we will be recapping those circumstances, and most importantly, we will be seeing what is that message from those circumstances which led to Lord Rama's exile, which has particularly captured the attention of Thirukkolur Penpillai, and what is the message in store for us. Trust me, there is plenty of message for us from this Bhakti Rahasyam. Now, moving on to Lord Rama's incarnation. So, this particular avatar of Lord Rama is a very special one, because here the Lord chose to be born as a human being, as a normal human being. He goes through all the trials and tribulations of life. He sees all the joys and sorrows, and in a way leaves a message for us on how to lead the life in a righteous way, how to follow the path of dharma, and how one should be dealing, or how one should be presenting themselves in the various interactions with the people around, be it parents, be it siblings, friends, relatives. He shows the way. He shows how a king should treat his subjects, how a king should deal with his enemy. So there are plenty of things, plenty of lessons from the great epic Ramayana. Now, if we just recap what happened when Lord Rama was supposed to be coronated. King Dasharatha, he feels that his time has come, so Lord Rama should be coronated as the king. He receives a thunderous applause from his subjects when he announces that this particular coronation is going to happen. The great sage Vasishtha comes up with an auspicious date. All the planning is made. The city of Ayodhya is decorated. It has a festive look. The date comes. It's the subsequent morning when the coronation is supposed to happen. That's when one particular lady called Mantra, she is jealous over Lord Rama ascending the throne. She goes and poisons the mind of Queen Kaikeyi that it should be her son Bharat who should ascend the throne and Lord Rama should be sent on exile. She deliberately feeds this thing into Kaikeyi's mind that she has two unfulfilled boons from King Dasharatha and this is the time to activate those boons. Such a cruel intention of Mantra. Now Kaikeyi falls to the plan. She goes and she tells King Dasharatha that this is the time where the boons have to be executed. King Dasharatha is in a state of shock because Rama was his most beloved son, and to see him not being coronated when all the plans were being made, it was a last minute shocker from Kaikeyi. Yet Kaikeyi had her way finally. The next morning when Rama comes to meet his father, he is shocked to see him in a state of despair, and Kaikeyi tells him that the king wants Bharata to be throned as the king and Rama should go away to the forests for a period of 14 years. Now Rama here also in this moment he displays calmness, he displays equipoise. He is saddened to see his father in such a state, and in fact when Kaikeyi is delivering such a harsh judgment, he still feels no hatred for her. He says, "Oh mother, you could have told me directly to go to the forests. I would have happily obliged. Why is my father telling this message through you?" So even in that moment, he had that respect for Kaikeyi. So this is one of the examples where he is showing how to interact with elders. Now, Thirukkolur Penpillai is trying to capture what would have gone into Lord Rama's mind at that particular point in time. He had seen two extremes in a span of maybe 12 hours. The previous evening, this decision was made that Lord Rama will be coronated the subsequent day. So it was full of joy, full of happiness, things to look forward to. And immediately the next day, the next morning, he meets with this news that he is no longer going to be coronated. So that was, if seen from an ordinary person's perspective, it's a total shocker. Extreme joy the previous evening and extreme sadness the next morning. Yet it was, or it is extreme for ordinary people like us, but not for Rama. He showed that life can be unpredictable. He was very calm, he was very positive in that circumstance. Immediately he agrees to go to the forest. He goes and tells his own mother Kausalya. She is very saddened to hear this news. She is unable to bear this separation. Even King Dasharatha, after recovering partially, he comes to Rama and says, okay, I may have blabbered due to my old age. You can put me in prison and you can ascend the throne. You have all rights to do it. Yet, Rama says that his words, that is his father's words, are more important to him than the ultra luxuries of life. He goes to Sita, he conveys the news to her. Sita immediately wants to accompany Lord Rama to wherever he goes. Rama initially tries to dissuade her, but finally he takes Sita Mata along with him, and then even Lakshmana joins him in their journey to the forest. So such was the mental composition of Rama. So for a moment, let us not see him as a lord, let us see him as an ordinary human being. How this person responded to this particular situation. When things were against him, when the circumstances, situations, everything was against him, yet he did not lose his mental composition. So imagine if this were to happen in our life, what would follow is a series of C's, complaints, criticisms, cries, curses. So most of us would be brooding over this situation of what happened. We were promised something, say it could be a promotion or it could be a job opening which we were expecting, just for example, and suppose it is turned down. We were looking expectedly towards that particular thing. So these would be the series of negative emotions which would run through most of us. And here Lord Rama is giving the hard-hitting message that nothing is predictable in life. Life will have its ups and downs. It will have unpredictability. Yet, it is for us to get over those emotions, get over the situations quickly and go on with life, because life doesn't stop with a particular event or an incident. We all know this, yet when situations and circumstances overpower us, it becomes difficult to get out of such a situation. No doubt, we need time to overcome the emotions, we need time to overcome the circumstances and the situations. Yet, remembering this incident from Lord Rama's life, where he also saw these extremes, he accepted it and he went ahead with that decision to go to the forests, will help us, or it is expected that this or recalling this incident may help us to shorten that time of negative emotions and we are able to overcome this quickly. So this is the attribute or the quality which even Thirukkolur Penpillai is seeing out of the entire episode, that Lord Rama displayed that positivity, displayed that mental composition and went ahead with his father's decision and words rather than caring for the luxuries. So Thirukkolur Penpillai feels, she laments that she is no Lord Rama who just moved out of Ayodhya in unfavorable circumstances. She feels that she doesn't have that particular quality to face difficult situations in life. So with this particular Bhakti Rahasyam, she in a way prays that she also should get such a divine attribute or divine quality of facing any challenge in life, and she should also be able to overcome all these difficult situations which she faces in her life. Now that's a beautiful prayer which we can also do. We can also pray to Lord Rama that he gives us that particular quality whereby we are able to get over any situation, we are able to get over any circumstance in the minimum possible time, with minimum loss of time and efforts. So that was our Bhakti Rahasyam number 53 and the message which followed. So stay blessed, stay devoted, and stay tuned for our next Bhakti Rahasyam. Radhe Krishna, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha.